Hello friends. Before we begin this video, I wanted to quickly acknowledge something. Throughout this reading, you'll hear me use the phrase gem or phlegm. I was trying to be lighthearted and funny, but after watching it back, I realized it could sound unkind or as though I were making fun of someone. That was never my intention, and I hope you'll excuse my attempt at humor at someone else's expense. I've since changed the title, but because the phrase remains in the reading, I wanted to address it before we begin. Thank you for understanding. Is this person truly a gem? Hello, friends, and welcome to Peaceful Path Tarot. I want to look beyond your person's charm and chemistry and mixed signals to uncover what this person is really bringing into your life and what spirit wants you to know before you give them any more of your precious energy. So I have broken this reading into 3 piles. Pile number 1 is Merlin and Vivian with magic. And they have the malachite that looks like a bird. Pile number 2 is Dionysus and Ariadne. Sorry, I know I just butchered that. With triumph. And they have the rose quartz. And pile number 3 is Dante and Beatrice with grace. And they have the, I believe this is an aquamarine. It's got little flecks in it. And it is storming here right now, so it's a little dark. I'm going to move this light around. Hopefully it's not too bright. So if you would like, look at the piles and see which resonates with you. And then you can move on to the reading. The timestamps are below. I'll see you there. Hello, pile number 1. You have chosen the Merlin and Vivian card. I just love this card, especially as a psychic. I love this card. So the first thing I'm struck by is, of course, the fact that they both have magic abilities. And she's got a bowl here. So he has this cup probably, but she's no lesser than him. She's got this bowl and it's got magic coming out of it, and he's got his magic cup. She is holding her own here in this situation. She is no lesser. Of course, no woman is lesser than a man, but in the society we live in, they try to portray women as lesser than a man. But in this case, you can clearly see that she is no lesser than a man. So I'm using the Lover's Path Tarot today. So, Spirit, if you would please help pile number 1 understand if the person that they have in mind for this reading, if they are a gem. All right, let's start with just 2 cards for now, then we'll get some more. First, you have the Princess of Coins, which is Pentacles. So the page of Pentacles. Okay. I think I'm going to push that right there. And then you have the 5 of Staves, which is the 5 of Wands. So clearly what we've got going on here is some kind of triangle. You have 3 people, 1 woman and 2 men here fighting. She's trying to stop this guy from hitting this guy, and this guy looks like he's going to hit her. So yeah, like there is some kind of love triangle going on here in this situation, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure what yet the Page of Pentacles brings to this situation, but let's get some more clarity. If you could bring some more clarity into what is going on with this love triangle. Let's see, you have Arthur and Guinevere. Oh, I love that card with power. So you are some kind of like power couple, but you have some third party here causing unrest, causing a problem. I think you're already in a relationship, just like Guinevere and Arthur, but you have some third party. And I don't know, this is her third party or his third party. Maybe it's a friend that's causing problems, or maybe it's an admirer. Maybe someone is stepping out. Either way, I think you're already in a relationship. You might even have pages are usually a younger energy. So it's almost like you have children, at least one child, if not more than one. But I think you're in a relationship, you have children, but there is this force that's causing problems in your relationship. So let's get some more information. Another page. Yeah. So I'm going to put this right here. I think you probably do have more than one child. You probably have a couple children, at least two. Drawn to this one. The 9 of Coins. So this situation with this added person that's causing problems in your relationship is regarding money. I mean, this person is not pursuing money. This person already has money. So, yeah, I think this person is trying to get to your money or trying to trick you out of your money. So, yeah, I would say that this is the gem probably here. You have some person that is causing problems in your relationship. And you're doing well, you're settled, and you just have conflict going on over here because of this one person. So let's see if we can get some more guidance. Spirit, if you can give some more guidance about this. The 9 of Staves, which is the 9 of Wands. It shows these two, you can barely see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it shows these two people like kissing back here behind. You can barely see it. They are kissing behind this wall of staves. So I think there is probably something secretive going on that is barely visible. And the 4 of Arrows, which is the 4 of Swords. Yeah, and here they are in bed. So I don't think I need to cover that for YouTube rules. There's nothing showing other than they're sleeping in the same bed. It's weird, it's interesting too, is they've got the arrows pointing down like, look at them in the bed. So yeah, there is something secretive going on here. I would even say cheating. There is some cheating going on. Okay. Let's see if we can get some more information from Spirit about this. Oh my goodness. Not how I thought we were going to start. We have Wotan, the King of Staves, which is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is usually a strong man, a strong male, who's usually charismatic, social. So how does this king relate to our reading? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The 3 of Arrows, the 3 of Swords, which is pain, emotional turmoil. And you see you have 3 again. 3, we have the 3. So I'm trying not to say it, but it does seem very clear that someone is stepping out and not being faithful in this relationship. It's causing a lot of pain. This person is probably quite charismatic. So you have this charismatic man and this wealthy, not even wealthy, but probably able to hold her own in this situation. So, yeah, someone is stepping out. And by stepping out, not being unfaithful in their relationship. So I think I'm going to switch my deck at this point because I've got my clear energy of what's going on here. So I'm going to switch my deck now. I'm going to switch to the Light Seers deck. So, Spirit, I'm going to ask you, if you would, please give us some specific information about the person that the sitter is in a relationship with. So their current relationship, please give us some information about the person they're in a relationship with right now, if you would, please. All right, so the Knight of Cups. The person in your relationship right now seems pretty romantic. They've written you notes in the past. Got their flowers, got their white knight, the white stallion back here. They are very much in their heart, very emotional, probably. Maybe even a bit unstable. Yeah, I'd say they're probably quite emotional and a bit unstable. So let's, if you would please, give us some information about the other person. There's obviously 3 people involved here. If you would please give us some information about the other person in the sitter's and the viewer's relationship situation. They've got the King of Wands, another king. Oh, 2 King of Wands. Wow. Okay, so this other person is really quite charismatic. I mean, you got 2. That's kind of crazy. 2 different decks. You have 2 King of Wands. So this person is very charismatic, very good looking, just drawing you in. But what can you please give us some information about their personality, not just their charismatic looks? Oh, look at that. The Devil card flew out of the deck. Wow. So, this other person, this person that you're stepping out with, okay, I'm just going to be honest here. They seem very, very charismatic, okay? But the Devil card came out for them. So, I would say they're not great. I don't even know what the adjective is here to use, but they're not fantastic. All right, you want to give us maybe one more card to show their personality? Yeah, the 5 of Wands. I think they're probably in some kind of job or even just their general life. They're always trying to get to a higher level. They're always trying to climb the ladder of some type. A person that does this probably does it in many different regards. So maybe they're trying to get a better job and they're always trying to get a better car and they're trying to get better clothes and they're trying to get a better girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or whatever it is. This other person here is not someone that you want to be with, I would say. I'm just going to be honest on what I'm seeing from the cards here. So let's see. I think we've got our answer here about gem or phlegm. I think this is phlegm. This is gem. So your current relationship, based on this reading, is current relationship is a gem. They're a little unstable, but they're quite loving. And new other relationship is pretty phlegmy. Okay. So I'm going to assume that you got pulled into this because of the instability of this gem. So let me see if they can offer any advice. If Spirit would please offer some advice on what you should do to maybe fix this situation or just make the situation better. Or should you just leave both situations? Let's see if Spirit would please give some more guidance here. The Hanged Man. Yeah, You're hanging there. You don't know what to do. I'm going to almost put this right here in the middle where there's a big opening. I think that you are trying to decide between the two. I'm trying to talk about this person right now, if you would, Spirit. Justice. Yeah, maybe at times they're two-faced. Yeah, that can be hard. That can be hard living with someone who you don't know who you're going to get from day to day. Despite their romanticness, it would be hard to have someone constantly kind of flipping. Let's see. The Queen of Pentacles. I'm not sure how that goes in here other than, because oh yeah, here you are again. Queen of Pentacles and then Nine of Pentacles. So you have plenty of money to support yourself. You don't need this person. So maybe they're a phlegm too. I think they're more of a gem than this one, but this one is kind of phlegmy as well, I would say. You have enough here to take care of yourself. And so I guess you just need to make the decision here of how you want to proceed, knowing what you know about each one based on this reading, this short reading, what you know about each one. You're able to support yourself. So this person seems like a pretty decent person, but they are kind of two-faced and they're a little unstable and maybe extra emotional. This person over here is charismatic and outgoing, but they're always fighting to get ahead. So can you trust someone in a relationship that's always looking for something better? I think based on that, you just kind of have to decide where you want, how much do you love these people? How much do you care about these people? If you're fully invested in this relationship, I don't see anything super detrimental here as like I would over here. So, I'm sorry, my cat keeps meowing. Hopefully you can't hear that. But so, you know what, pile number one, I am going to leave it here. You have a decision that needs to be made. I've given you some information about these two people and what's going on here. At the end of the day, I'm just going to leave it at this, okay? At the end of the day, first of all, emotions are good. Your goal in life is to always do what is the most loving, okay? So when you're trying to make this decision, you have to make it, if you can, the wise thing to do is to make the decision based on love. Not just love of this person or this person, but love of yourself. Don't forget that you are just as important in this situation as anyone else. So if you're not happy with either of these people, if you're stepping out on this person with this person because you're unhappy, well, maybe you're financially stable. Maybe it's time for you to move on, or maybe it's time for you to take a break, or maybe it's time for, I don't know, just to reassess the situation. Take some time to really reassess the situation. But just remember to try to do it in the most loving way possible, because it seems like in the beginning that you do have children together, and you got to remember they are part of your life and you're invested. Their children are there. So just remember to try to do what's going to be the most loving for you, the children, and the general situation. Okay. I know this is hard, but I hope this reading brought you some clarity. I'd love if you could like and or subscribe. And if you have any questions or advice or comments, please leave me a comment. And good luck to you. I send you love and understanding. Okay. And until next time, take good care. Okay. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. So I was doing some research. I don't know this story, and so I looked it up before we started. There are multiple versions of this myth, but Ariadne, I'm sure I'm butchering that, is best known for helping Theseus escape from the Minotaur and being abandoned by him on the island of Naxos. And there, Dionysus saw Ariadne sleeping, fell in love with her, and married her. So The story is about bitter love. She's still in love with Theseus, but he did her wrong. So she married Dionysus, and he was very much in love with her. But you can see she has her hand behind her back, and she's holding something. I'm sure it has something to do with the story that I'm not aware of, but she's not fully invested in this relationship because she's still in love with somebody else. So that's what I see there. And we've got our lovely rose quartz crystal here. So I'm going to put that here. It's storming outside and very dark, so I've had to turn the light on, which kind of blocks this image. But you've seen it now, so hopefully that's okay. Let's get started. Spirit, if you could please give us some information with about pile number 2, the person that they're thinking of. Their person is either gem or phlegm. Oh, we got one flying out. Okay, let's see. Guinevere and Arthur. I actually had that in the first reading. The first reading was pretty intense. I don't know if you might want to check that out if you feel so inclined. I'm trying to get this straight. Okay. So, what else we got here? Any other cards you want to throw at me? I am open to throwing cards at me, at least in this regard. 2 of coins, 2 of pentacles. This one's really coming out. The 10 of staves, the 10 of wands. Carrying a lot. And King of coins. Wow. Okay. So this person that's on your mind, I think you're in a relationship with them already. Okay. It's a man of meager means. He's got 2 coins here. But as you go along here, I think he has aspirations. He has big aspirations. He's carrying a lot, and his goal is to become. So right now, he's this. And he's not just a man of high aspirations, he's Zeus. He wants to become Zeus. So I think this person you're in a relationship with now that you're thinking about, they have high aspirations. So that doesn't tell me anything so far, whether they're gem or a phlegm. But I tell you, a man who has high aspirations can be quite the gem. Yeah. So let's see what else if there's anything else, hopefully they want to tell me. No, I don't feel that one. Okay. Oh boy. Is there not more? Okay. Wow. I had this in the last one as well. Wow. Okay. So if you were drawn at all to pile number 1, you should probably check that out. I'm just going to tell you now, it's basically about someone who's cheating in their relationship. So this is how it all started with it's like a love triangle here. And actually, this one's even a love triangle because Theseus left her there to die, from what I understand. But there are 3 people involved, and there are 3 people involved here. So let's see what more we can get here. Transformation. Persephone and Pluto, a transformation. Yeah, this guy is trying to transform himself. I really think this guy is trying to make himself better. Another coin, another pentacles. Yeah, he's trying to create some new venture, some new capital, some new money making venture, I think. He's focused. He's focused on making money, which is not always good. But here we have this popped out at me here. 2 of Cups. So it shows these 2 people very much in love. I mean, they seem very much in love. So that's a lovely card. And then another Ace card. So there's definitely new, he's got the crown here. He's got his crown and now we've got this new card of new love. Look at this. It's Couple ways to interpret this. I am going to just lay this right here for now. I'm not going to make any judgment calls yet. The two more cards popped up. Let's see what they are. The Two of Arrows, which is the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Staves, which is the Eight of Wands. So what I'm seeing from these cards is based on this man who is trying to better themselves. Maybe they're phlegm now and they're trying to become a gem, and I applaud them. My whole life is trying to become better. I applaud them. This energy is Two of Swords is a card of not knowing what decision to make, being blindfolded. Right away, the person is blindfolded and they just aren't sure what decision to make. And you have to make the decision quickly because there is some conflict here. I do think you love this person. I think this card goes directly with that in this. I think you do love this person. They're trying to make themselves better, and you're trying to decide if you should stay. And you feel like you need to make this decision quickly for whatever reason. There's some conflict because he is trying to transform himself. So far, I see nothing but gem, okay? Let's see if they can, if Spirit could give us a little more guidance, would be really appreciative. Three of Cups. Yeah, again with the three, but yeah, this is a party. This is joy, okay? This is joy and happiness. And I can see nothing but joy and happiness. This person basically picked you up in a unhappy place and put you on a pedestal and made you Guinevere. And then this person is trying to make themselves better. But you just, and you, I think you do love them and he loves you. They're trying to transform themselves. But maybe you guys just maybe don't get along all the time. There is a little bit of conflict. And for whatever reason, you feel like you need to make a decision. You're kind of sitting on it. You're not sure what to do, but you need to make a decision. And I think the Three of Cups is saying, this person is good. This person is not perfect, but they bring you joy. So I think pile number 2, that your person is a gem. Okay. So I hope you found this reading helpful. Hopefully this gave you a little clarity. I'd love if you could like and or subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or advice, please leave me a comment. Until next time, take good care and have a fantastic day. And enjoy your gem. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen Dante and Beatrice with the verbiage grace, and you have chosen what I believe to be is an aquamarine. I'm still determining that actually. It's a very pretty dark blue gem. And what I'm struck by in this card is the passion with which Dante is in love with Beatrice. It's red, which is indicative of passion, right? And I know of the story that Dante was very much in love with Beatrice throughout his entire life. And it was unrequited love. Yes, I looked it up. It wasn't an unrequited love. He never did get with Beatrice. He just admired her from afar. This is a very interesting love relationship here. So I'm going to move that over here. Like I told pile number 1 and pile number 2, it is storming here, so it's a little dark. So I have my light on, so it's blurring the image a little bit, but you've seen the card. So let's start our reading. Pile number 3, Spirit, if you would please help us to get some clarity on the person that pile 3 is thinking of. whether they're a gem or they're just phlegm. Let's see, the Seven of Arrows, which is the Seven of Swords. And here she is. She's asleep and she's stealing on all his swords. So that's interesting. Okay. Or his arrows. It's probably Cupid. All right, this flew out of my hand here. Brunhilde, Princess of Stave, which is the Page of Wands. We have the King of Arrows with Adonis, which is the King of Swords. Okay. And I'm really feeling this one on my thumb here. The Six of Cups. All right, you have this couple here. So the Six of Cups card can be indicative of a twin flame or a soulmate. So that is definitely interesting in a love reading about someone who's passionately in love with somebody. And you see this person she's not even looking at him. So again, we have a man kind of pursuing this woman and a man pursuing this woman in this kind of unrequited love. So I'm wondering if you have somebody who's chasing you and has been chasing you. This Adonis, this King of Swords. The King of Swords, serious, he's smart, he's wise. He's strong. To me, he's like a cop kind of person, like a police officer. He's just kind of fierce, okay? It's kind of interesting that we have this person stealing arrows and kind of riding off on her horse. And then I mentioned that he could be a police officer. So obviously that's not going to be for everyone, but for someone that's probably pretty spot on. But yeah, we have some kind of unrequited love here. So let's see if we can get some more information, please, Spirit. Oh, Isis and Osiris. Wow. As an Egyptian, I consider myself an ancient Egyptian historian. I love this card. She saves Osiris when he is murdered. So there is a strong love here. And I am not clear so far. Usually I get clear pretty quickly. I'm not clear so far. The Six of Coins, which is the Six of Pentacles. He's making an offer of coins to her. Yeah, it's pretty clear that he's pursuing her. And here this guy's bending over and giving her coins and he's carrying her. Yeah, so I think the person that's on your mind is pursuing you quite a bit, almost to the point where it's making you uncomfortable and you want to just take your stuff and go and run away. Because the love is intense. It's like too intense. I think what's going on here is what you're experiencing in this pile is the love is so intense that you want to run away. And so you're trying to decide, should I stay? Maybe this person is a good person and you don't want to leave. Or maybe they're helping you financially. There's no shame in that game. If someone's helping you financially, I get it. It's hard to leave in that situation. But let's see, if you could please give us some gem or phlegm information, please, Spirit. Queen of Arrows. Look at that. The King and Queen of Arrows right on top of each other. Wow. And Paolo and Francesca with Temptation. And you've got these two lovers here and lovers here. This is a very, very passionate relationship. And I think the conflict in your mind is based on the passion. But there is a lot of love here. Well, there's a lot of passion here. I don't know if there's actual love here. but there is a lot of passion. You probably have a very healthy life, I'm going to guess. And hopefully I can say that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to switch decks to the Lightseers deck. If you could please give us more information, Spirit. And this deck is very passionate. They are in a pretty heated relationship. A lot of touching and like togetherness and holding and just a lot of passion here. But this doesn't answer if the person they're thinking of, this person, is a gem or phlegm. So I need some guidance on this, please, if you would, Spirit. Justice, the Eight of Swords. Yeah, pretty confused about what to do. You feel all tied up, but really you're not. But you do feel tied up in this passionate relationship. The Hierophant, the Five of Wands. Yeah, they're looking up. They're pointing up. The Fool card. Yeah, I think someone's looking for something else. They're climbing. They're trying to get to something different. A new energy. Pile number 3, I think that you're in a very passionate relationship. But you're all twisted and tied up because you're not sure what to do. Because you're feeling like you're ready to move on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to ask Spirit directly. Okay, so the next 3 cards that I draw, please, Spirit, make them specifically geared towards gem or phlegm. No more explaining. We need cards to be indicative of gem or phlegm, please. 10 of Wands. Moving on. She's packed her bags and is leaving. The World card, which is one of the last cards in the deck, it's a card of completion. It's almost completed. And the Knight of Cups. So here we go again, romance. Writing letters, bringing wine, bringing flowers. No doubt this person is super passionate. But it's coming to an end. For one reason or another. And I would say Dante was passionately in love with Beatrice from the moment he met her, from what I understand was the age of 9, which is very creepy. But he has always been in love with her for a very long time. And that passion never led to success. And I think Spirit is going to say if the person you're thinking of is a gem or a phlegm. I think they're probably neither. I think they're just a person. They're just a regular old person. But your relationship was based on passion, lots and lots of passion. And I don't see any forming of a long lasting relationship here. There's climbing and changing and new energy and moving on and passion and romance. It's the kind of relationship every person wants to have, but you can't cling to it. It's really difficult to cling to a relationship like that. Those are the kind of relationships that are fantastic, and you can look back on them later in life. It's like, that was a fantastic part of my life, but it was not going to last long term. So I'm not going to say this person is a gem or phlegm, but I do think it's probably time to move on, or that time to move on is coming. You know what I am going to ask though, that if you did stay in this relationship and try to work it out, what would that look like? Okay, pile number 3. So I said I'm going to keep going with this reading and try to get some more information, and then my dog randomly started barking like a crazy person. So I'm going to take that as a sign that I'm just going to leave it here. I wish you the best with this situation. The breakup is probably going to be hard, or the ending of the relationship, it's going to be difficult, But just remember, this is probably the kind of passionate relationship that you will look back on later in life and probably be glad that you had it, you know. So if this reading gave you a little clarity, I'd love if you could like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or advice for me, please leave me a comment. Until next time, take good care.